Send me $7,200 for my daughter's sweet 16. My sister texted me pictures of the ballroom, the gown, and a $700 cake. I replied, get a job. 10 minutes later, Dad texted, pay up or you're out of this family. That night I pressed, Canc cancel everything. By 7:30 the next morning, my name is Gary, I'm 34. Older brother by 4 years. This steady one, the guy who files receipts and labeled envelopes and keeps a spreadsheet for everything from utilities to socks. I work as an auditor. My superpower is asking boring questions until the numbers tell the truth. My coworkers joke that I can smell a missing decimal from across a conference room. That's not a joke. I live alone in a small one-bedroom above a dry cleaner. The place always smells faintly like starch. I don't mind. I keep my kitchen like a sample budget. Simple, predictable, nothing fancy. I meal prep on Sundays. I bring my own coffee Monday through Friday. I like rules. I like that rules don't get offended when you follow them. My family rules are optional. We grew up in a ranch house where the TV was always on and mail lived in a pile near the fruit bowl. Mom is warm, loud, a hug that comes with a to-do list. Dad is a fixer when it's his idea, allergic to planning when it's yours. My younger sister, Bella, is sparkle and momentum. She makes everything a moment. She used to turn cereal into a performance. The camera loves her. People love her. Bills do not. Since college, I've been the fallback. The ride from the airport, the guy who reads the lease, the emergency contact, the one who knows how to talk to banks. At 25, I found out knows how to talk to banks. Actually meant puts his name on things. That's a later part of the story. On a Tuesday night in March, I was in my apartment with a casserole cooling on the counter and a basketball game on mute. I was marking up a client's expense sample with a yellow highlighter. The dry cleaner downstairs clanged a rack. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Bella. First, a phode, a ballroom with chandeliers like upside-down frozen fountains, gold chairs, a DJ booth, then a picture of a sweeping white and silver gown on a mannequin. Then a cake and a screenshot with a price tag in the corner. $700. Her text followed. Send me $7,200 for Maya's sweet 16. Then a confetti emoji, then a pink heart. I stared at the screen like it was a magic trick I was supposed to applaud. She sent another photo before I could answer. A mock-up of an invitation with cursive letters and the date. The caption read, "It's happening." The game clock on the TV ticked. The casserole popped once as it cooled. Outside, a bus hissed by. I put the phone face down, then flipped it back over because ignoring things is not my way. I typed, "What?" She replied with 3 bubbles in quick succession. "Ballroom deposit is due tomorrow. We want a string quartet during cocktail hour. It'll be so special, Gary." I held the phone. I didn't send money. I didn't send a speech. I just sat there in my quiet kitchen with my boring dinner and the smell of starch and thought. Here it is again, the glitter invoice. I typed a single sentence and erased it. I set the phone face down again. I breathed. My rule is I don't make money decisions while annoyed. But the words were already forming in the back of my throat like a fuse burning. I knew what I was going to say. I also knew what was going to come after. I picked the phone back up. My thumbs hovered. I thought about the last 18 months. I thought about the store card. I thought about the emergency that bought shoes. I thought about being told I was ruining the vibe by mentioning budgets. I thought about a 16-year-old who is kind to me and who deserves a celebration that won't wreck anyone's year. I tapped 3 words. I didn't hit send. Not yet. The dry cleaner shut off their lights. My upstairs neighbor's faucet squealed like a tea kettle. The moment sat there quiet and sharp. I knew once I sent the words, everything at home would tilt. I put the phone down. I cleaned my plate. I washed the pan. I answered 2 work emails. Then I picked up the phone again, unlocked it, and let the words go. 10 minutes later, my dad's name lit up my screen. And that's where everything started to burn. This part is boring if you like chaos. It's how I get my balance back. A ledger is not love, but love without a ledger eats you. 19. Bella wants to go to a summer arts program. Tuition shortfall, $600. It's for her future, Mom says. I pay the gap. Bella sends heart emojis and a blurry photo of a paint-splattered canvas. Worth it, I tell myself. Investment. 21. Dad's truck needs brakes. I'll pay you Friday, he says. Friday is a weather system that keeps getting delayed. $420 not paid. 23. Mom calls crying about overdraft fees. I go to the bank on my lunch break. I talk to a manager. I get $150 in fees reversed and add alerts to her account. I bring Mom a notebook labeled bills, draw columns, show her how to write due dates. She uses it for 2 weeks. It disappears into the fruit bowl pile. 24. Bella starts a small home bakery business. I buy labels and a thermal printer for $178 because I love her energy and I believe in containers. She sells cupcakes for 3 weekends, posts pretty photos, then stops when it gets hard. The printer lives in a closet. I try not to feel stupid every time I see it. 25. Dad asks me to toss in a refinance for a better rate. I say no. He says be a man. I say being a man means not saying yes to everything. He doesn't talk to me for 10 days. 26. Mom signs up for a store card at checkout. It arrives at my apartment because the address on the application is confused. I didn't apply, I call, I close it. We have a long, quiet Sunday dinner. She tells me I'm cold. I tell her I'm protecting my credit. We both cry into the salad. 28. Bella's rent is late. She moved out with her boyfriend because we need our own space. I front $900 with the sentence. This is the last time. It is not. She breaks up with the boyfriend 3 months later and moves back home. The rent money never boomerangs. 30. Dad texts. Emergency. The emergency is cable got cut. He needs $180 until Thursday. Thursday never comes. The cable returns in 2 hours and so do the football games. I start calling his asks. Panics, not emergencies. It helps me say no more often. 31. Mom's birthday dinner for 19 people at a restaurant that spells steak with 3 adjectives per cut. The bill hits the table and everyone looks at me like I'm the cashier. I put down my card because watching the slow-motion scramble physically hurts me. I drive home nauseous and mad at myself. I promise I won't be the default wallet again. 32. Bella's daughter Maya is 12 and bright and kind. She draws me comics of Uncle Gary the spreadsheet superhero. I frame one and keep it above my desk. It's the best thing on my wall. I start a small $529 plan with my name on it and $25 a month because future-leaning love is the only kind that doesn't rot. In between a million small drafts, gas money just this once, a phone upgrade for safety. They will pay you back after the refund hits. Payback is a myth in our house. Gratitude is real. Gratitude is warm and heavy. Gratitude does not pay the AM. The worst part isn't the money, it's the tilt. If I bring home a bonus, Dad says, don't brag. If Bella posts a selfie with a caption about hustling, Mom comments 12 hard eyes. When I say no, I'm told I'm making everything about money. When they say yes to themselves, it's self-care. It makes me sound bitter. I didn't start bitter. I started practical. Bitterness grew like mold on the practical when I kept being told my no was cruelty and their want was need. I started therapy last year because my chest was tight all the time and my jaw ached from clinching while I said no problem to problems that weren't mine. The therapist asked, "What do you want?" I said, "To stop being the family's overdraft protection." She said, "That's a boundary." I said, "Boundaries get you exiled." She said, "Sometimes exile is healthy distance." So I tried. I wrote a list titled Policy. Item 1, no co-signing. Item 2, no lending to cover previous lending. Item 3, gifts are planned, not extracted. Item 4, I don't negotiate through tears or threats. Item 5, if I feel panic in my body, I wait 24 hours before replying. It worked about half the time. Then Bella's text about the Sweet 16 landed, like a test I already knew I was supposed to fail. Here's the context. Bella has big taste and small follow-through. She loves entrances. She loves moments. She also believes that if you make something big enough, someone will step in and make the numbers work. Historically, that someone is me. She sent a photo of a ballroom, then a tiara, then a floral arch. "It's not just a party," she typed. "It's once in a lifetime." I stared at my phone and saw a math problem disguised as a dream. The total wasn't just $7,200. It was $7,200 plus every other time the glitter invoice had landed at my door. I typed 3 words, erased them, typed them again, pressed send. Get a job, silence. Then the 3 dots, then nothing. Then my dad, pay or get out of this family. It wasn't about a party anymore, it never is. It was about their favorite equation, love equals money. And if you question the math, you become the villain. I sat on my couch, game on mute, casserole cooling, staring at the text like a fire behind glass. The old panic rose up, fix it, smooth it, be the good one, don't make noise. Then I looked at Mia's comic on my wall, Uncle Gary with a cape shaped like a pie chart. I heard my therapist's voice. What does protecting yourself sound like? It sounded like a sentence I had never said to my family before. I whispered it into the empty room first. This isn't about revenge, this is about closure. It felt like flipping a breaker back into place. That night, I opened a new spreadsheet and titled it, Family Account, Gary to Parents plus Bella. Then I opened my text thread and said what I needed to say, and that's when the house lights came up and everyone started shouting. The group chat started at 8:02 p.m. Mom named it Family as if that could hold it together. She added me. Dad, Bella, Mom, Gary, your sister is stressed. Be kind. Dad, you don't talk to your sister like that. Bella, wow, really? To your niece, I typed slowly. I love Maya. I'm not paying $7,200 for a party. Dad called immediately. He hates the delay of text when he's angry. I answered because ignoring calls is gasoline. Hey, he said, no hello, no breath. Either pay or don't bother showing up here again. Dad, I said, keeping my tone level, that's abusive. Abusive, he laughed, high and offended. You're the one withholding from your own blood. I'm withholding from bad decisions, I said. Bad, he sputtered. It's a sweet 16. It's an event you can't afford, I said. A nice one, sure, but a luxury. Bella grabbed the phone. I could hear her breathing. I thought you loved Maya. I do, I said. That's why I want her to have a special day that doesn't involve me funding a ballroom and a $700 cake. It's not just cake, she snapped. It's a design. Exactly, I said. Then Mom took the phone. I could hear her organizing her voice, the way she organizes drawers by pushing the mess to the back and calling the front neat. Gary, we didn't raise you to be cruel. You raised me to help, I said, and I am by not funding a mistake. Everything with you is math, she said. Where's your heart? In Maya's college account, I said. That's where her future lives. Silence. Then Dad again, voice low like a threat whispered to a dog. If you don't pay, don't come to the party, don't come to this house, don't call us, you're out. I felt my pulse in my teeth. Are you sure you want to say that? I asked. Say what? He sneered. That money is the ticket to family, I said. That's your position. His silence was an answer I could have begged. I could have offered to pay part. I could have tried compromise with someone who treats ransom as parenting. Instead, I looked at my fresh spreadsheet, at the numbers I'd started to enter, at the line I'd drawn at the bottom with one word in caps, closed. Okay, I said. Here's what's going to happen. I'm sending you a document in the morning, a record of everything I've paid over the last 10 years. Gifts are gifts, loans are loans, everything else is pressure. I'm zeroing it out, effective immediately. I am not your bank. I will not fund this party. I will not co-sign anything. I will not discuss money with you. Dad laughed again, but this time it sounded more like air leaving a balloon. You think you're special because you've got a decent job? No, I said. I think I'm a person with a boundary. Bella cried, that high, shocked sound I've known since she was 5. You're choosing money over your niece? I'm choosing her future over your party, I said. I'll pay for her community college books. I'll buy her driving lessons. I'll match whatever she earns for a used car. But I won't buy chandeliers. You'll regret this, Mom said, the same words I've heard after every no. One day we won't be here. That's exactly why I can't bankrupt myself for a cake, I said. She exhaled sharply. You're so cold. I'm precise, I said. There's a difference. Send the document, Dad mocked. Let's see your little report. It's not little, I said. It's 10 years. I hung up before the next round. My hands were shaking. My shoulders felt like they'd been raised to my ears for a year. I wrote the letter. I kept it simple. I will not fund, co-sign, or guarantee any debts. I will not be pressured or threatened into paying for luxuries. Any attempt to open credit in my name will be handled by law. I love you. And the answer is no, this isn't about revenge. This is about closure. At midnight, I finished the spreadsheet. I rounded down. I removed petty lines so no one could say I was being dramatic. The total still made my stomach drop. $41,870 over a decade of emergencies, bridges, and surprises that somehow always landed on me. At 12:17 a.m., I emailed the PDF to the family thread and BCC'd my own non-family account, auditor's copy. I slept badly, a shallow, jittery twilight instead of rest. By 7:30 the next morning, my mom was at my door, printout in hand, face set like she'd finally decided to make a scene. She looked at the bottom line, then at me. Her mouth moved around a sentence that never came. Then in a motion both familiar and surreal, she sat down without asking and fainted. I caught her head before it hit the arm of the chair. My father would later say I planned it that way, as if gravity and truth were my accomplices. As if a boundary were a trap I didn't call an ambulance. I did the practical things, feet up, cool cloth, calm voice. She came around fast, looking small in my chair. You made a list of every little thing, she said. I removed the little things, I told her. These are just the ones you promised to pay back. I'm zeroing them. Our financial relationship is closed. She stared at closed like it was an insult. How dare you? How dare you make family a bill? I said softly. My phone buzzed. Monster, we are done. Bella's text came next. Are you happy now? I typed, I won't pay for the party. I'll give $500 to Mia's education fund if you open one by Friday. Silence. Then keep your blood money. 5 minutes later, what's a 529? I sent the link. Mom finally stood, folded the paper too tight. You're not who I thought you were. I am, I said. I'm just done paying to be him. Dad's voicemail said I was cold. My aunt said family helps. I said I've helped enough. Then a credit alert came, a new account under my name. My sister's. I closed it and texted, any more attempts will involve the police. Dad replied, stop threatening us. It's not a threat, I wrote. It's a boundary. Therapy helped me find my rule. I don't make decisions to fix their feelings. I make decisions to protect my future. Days later, Bella asked about the education fund. I helped her set it up. She added $25. I added $500, not peace, but a start. Mom brought soup, no party talk. She said, your father is stubborn. I said, I know. When Dad called again, I said, I'm sad, but I'm still not paying. Later, he asked for help with their budget. I agreed to look, not to pay. At the table, I made 3 columns. Needs, nice, not now. Ballroom, not now. Park potluck, needs, nice. Mom cried. Bella offered to blow up balloons herself. Real progress, small and clumsy. The backyard party looked real, affordable, and full of light. Maya hugged me. Thanks for the college thing. Thanks for being you, I said. No chandeliers. Just fairy lights and a sheet cake with her drawing printed on top. It tasted like a new start. When Dad said, you're a good man, I said, thanks. That was enough. Now no money talk in family chat. Just soup photos, football calls, and Maya's texts about chemistry. I add $25 to her $529 each time. Not revenge.